when he was part of DTI. You know, he helped my mom and dad a lot, no, in exporting. So my mom invented the new technique of working with rattan, and she has an invention patent. In fact, many of the techniques that she discovered are still in use today. So these are some of the tables. And our factory then, no, nara sa likod sa among house. So every time I would play with all the materials that I found around. I built my own toys. I built a bridge, no, over a fish pond, fell into it so many times. So my childhood was very creative. So it was always something that I wanted to do, no, to make things, design. It's just like I wanted to be a child forever. But growing up in Cebu then, your career path, no, being a designer was not an option. You were either going to be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer. No? So my dad, I wanted to study design, but my dad said, no, there's no money there. It's better you take up business. And after your 4 years, if you want to take up design, then go ahead. So I went, applied to UP Diliman, and I studied business for 2 years. In the middle of my accounting class, I told myself, nah, this is really not for me. So I went and applied to the fine arts program, and I failed the entrance examination because my drawing was not good enough. No. And I was very frustrated. So I spent 1 whole year trying to learn just how to draw. But I think about 10 years ago, I was invited to be the commencement speaker at the same fine arts department at UP. So I think that was my best revenge. Then I went to New York. I studied at the Pratt Institute, and there I learned so many things. I learned, this was my mother's alma mater. And I was very lucky because I was shuttling back and forth, no, from John's home, where I lived, to the dorm then. And I learned so many things. I learned that form can bring out emotions in us. And this was a very creative time. Okay. Yeah, it was a very creative time in New York. And then from there, I went to Europe. I went to Italy and Germany. And then my father passed away. So nibalik ko to Cebu, where I took over the furniture factory of my mom. We were doing export then, and she was making her own designs. And I wanted to create something that was really different, something unique. So I looked at nature, and I saw what makes nature beautiful is when you see a forest and you see all these layers and densities of trees that you see right through it. And when the light goes through, it creates this very beautiful, many shadows, patterns. So I wanted to capture that in my furniture. So my first design was in 1998. It was called the Yin and Yang. It's a very simple structure, just a box with a skeletal and a woven frame. This is a very transparent. And this was a hit right away because many of the things then were very solid. Parang upholstered in furniture or things that were woven were always closed. And this one was very different because when you put it on a balcony like this one is in Greece, you see that it doesn't block the view. It's big, but it's actually light. And when you sit in it, the breeze, it cools you actually because the breeze flows through. And I knew that this was something that was very different in the world of design. So I began to experiment with different structures, also looking at baskets. I went to the market, and what makes a basket interesting is that all the members are there to support each other. And when you take out some of these, it weakens the whole structure. So I made my second design called the Balu, made out of a light skeletal and a steel frame. And I found that bending rattan creates even stronger structure. Balu, this was named after the bear in Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Book. And then the third design was using a very, again, light skeletal and a steel frame that was hand sculpted. And then as many as 3,000 knots are used to tie abaca onto this piece. This was called the pigal. It was inspired by the human body. And This was a breakthrough design also. In fact, let me see now here. Yeah, this is the Pigal. This is a very different also design. Again, it has that transparency, it's light, but it's actually very, very strong. And I got a lot of press from Europe, from the US, because this was something that they've never seen before, very unique, made out of natural materials. And then, let's see now here. Okay. And then it was a time to do something different because I was creating all these unique designs, but Ibamo before, the furniture industry, even till today, we only make for brands abroad. No? So it's we're nameless, faceless, where it's always something, we're always OEM, just like what China is doing now. So we create all these things, they go under different brands. So I wanted to do something different and was just create my own brand. This was unheard of that time because everybody wanted to just take the product and then claim it as their own. But I insisted that whoever buys my things should not change the name. They should really say it's made in the Philippines and use my name. So I lost a lot of clients for the first few years. No, big department stores, Bloomingdale's, they would not buy from me. So for about 2 years, the factory floors were empty. But I kept on going, and I soon got a totally different set of clientele that were used to buying designer furniture. The ones who bought furniture from Europe started buying from me. Just not the typical buyer of Filipino furniture. And I went on, inspired by things Filipino, by our culture, inspired by fish traps, fish nets. I designed this dining table called the Amaya. Again, made out of steel, and the inside was a woven structure. And here, paired with the dimple chairs, you see that actually on the floor, it creates a lot of beautiful patterns and beautiful shadows. And then I began to experiment with, again, with woven structures, but using fabric and steel. Now, Filipino furniture up to that time was always using natural materials, woven natural materials, no? Rattan, seagrass. And I began to experiment by using fabric, by wrapping them around wire. And this is my design called the Dragnet chair. And this is something very different because now I could put color in my furniture. If you see a lot of furniture that was Filipino, it's always brown because that's the color of natural materials. And also always fascinated by people who lived on boats, no? Slept in boats. So I wanted to create my own design called the Voyage. This is the Voyage bed. It's patterned after like a boat, a canopy. And I guess I have this bed to thank for because Brad Pitt, bought this bed. And probably without Brad Pitt, I wouldn't be known in my own country. It takes Hollywood, to make you popular in your country. Because the Inquirer newspaper at that time brought out the story, and suddenly people were fascinated by what I was doing. So my work is a celebration of craft, and I always try to push this tradition of craftsmanship that we have. So I just want to show you some examples. This is La Luna. This won an award in New York in 2001 for best in craftsmanship. So I start out with a frame of rattan, which goes around this wooden shell. And then I take them out. And then I put wooden legs. You see the rattan structure inside there, which I then take out. Then I put recycled jute sack, then recycled foam, and then another layer of jute sack on it. And then the weaving starts. And after about a day or two of weaving, there's two patterns. One wider one on the outside, like this, and a thinner one on the inside. And now the craftsman has to take these two patterns and stitch them together like this, seamless. And up to today, this is still one of our best-selling chairs. This is called La Luna. I also work in wood, but I try to create something very, very unique, something complex, no? So the Chinese can't copy it. And this is tilt. It's called tilt. It's cut several weird angles, and it's fastened together by glue and dowels. No? And it's like really like miniature architecture. It's like building a house. This is the frame. This is called tilt, made out of American walnut. That's tilt. And then still experimenting with fabric. I told myself, what would it look like if I took a sweater and then magnify, zoom. And this is the birth of this collection called Cabaret. It's made out of, there's a wire and then there's foam and then fabric goes around it. No? And then this is another life-size lamp structure. Yeah. Now my sound, no? You can hear the sound? Okay. Just making sure. Yeah, good, thank you. So I always say that inspiration comes from everywhere. So even a crushed Coke can became the inspiration for a chair, which got me my first major award in Hong Kong. It's called the Design for Asia Award. This is the chair that's made out of rattan, a similar technique to old boat building, where you create a frame, skeletal, again, frame out of rattan. Now, normally the Design for Asia Award is given to industrial product. This is an award given in Hong Kong by an international jury. And it's always given to, big industrial product giants like Apple or Samsung or Hyundai, And this year they awarded it to a rattan chair. This is called the Lola. And then I began to work also in outdoor, right? Combining materials, replacing the steel with aluminum and PE, polyethylene. And these are the other pieces in that collection called the Lola. So again, inspiration comes from everywhere. Blades of grass became the inspiration for the Yoda chair. Even noodles became the inspiration for the noodle chair. And then these are actually dim sum steamers. This I made into gigantic coffee tables in different sizes. This is leather and bamboo. And then I made my own version of sheep called Harry. It's a rocking, actually like a rocking stool. And this is Harry in its natural habitat. So I've always been fascinated by structures like bicycle spokes, Ferris wheels. I designed this hammock called the Papillon. Yeah. It's like Imelda's butterfly sleeves. And this is a design of mine called Little People. Yeah. So that's Little People. And this is another product of mine called Bloom. This again is a very different product because it's not a product that you would expect from the Philippines. You would not buy this. This is a fully upholstered product now. Kind of upholstered products, everything is imported from the foam to the fabric because we don't really have a fabric industry and our foam is all, we import everything. So it's very hard to compete with China, with Europe. And this was something that was very difficult to do. But I just wanted to try it. So this is called the Bloom. It's still one of the most sellable chairs we have today. And the work that goes into it is like making really a gown, a wedding gown. This is the Bloom. And in fact, when I first exhibited this abroad, the French tourism department called me and said, can they feature it to promote Paris, because they thought that Cobonpue was French. Of course, after I told them that no, I'm from the Philippines, I said, "Oh, sorry," I took it back. And this is the bloom. It's actually everything in this comes from Italy. The fabric, the foam, everything. But the workmanship in it, the skill that you need, is truly Filipino. This is a leaf chair using the same technique. And this is actually always been fascinated. My mom used to tell me bedtime stories as a kid about faraway lands, villages. Now this is actually a lamp that I have hanging. This is called the village, made out of cast resin and wood. This is my interpretation of a traditional chair called a peacock chair. This won an award right before the pandemic in Las Vegas at the most important, probably, contract show in the US. It beat 3,000 entries to win the best chair for that year. And these are, again, the Yoda chairs in different colors. This is leaf, which I created actually just before the pandemic hit. And of course, it sells well because everything now green and anything to do with plants does very well. This is a bed of mine inspired by balloons. And this is a chair, a series of chairs I did that goes for hotel lobbies, inspired actually by the islands all around us, like in Coron. So I do other things aside from furniture once in a while, and I'm always fascinated with transportation. In 2005, I wanted to join this very, very important show, one of the most, it's probably the most important show in the world, in Milan, for furniture. Very difficult to enter, especially if you're from the Philippines. So when they learned I was Filipino, they wanted to put me up on the third floor, close to the bathroom, all the way to the back. So I told them, what would it take to impress you? And so they said, give us a proposal. So I said, what if I do a car made out of bamboo, rattan, carbon fiber, an electric car? But they said, okay, if you manage to make it, then we'll put you right up in front. So I started to work. I didn't have much time, and started to create shells. And I finished this design of mine called the Phoenix. It actually rolls. I did not have time to put an electric motor in it or to make it really, to really make it fully usable. But when I exhibited this in Milan, true enough, they put me right in front of the building when you come in. And this was a tour de force for me. This is made out of rattan. This is full-scale rattan, carbon fiber, and bamboo parts. In fact, this is the team that made it. Then it went to a museum, actually, in Germany. And I got a lot of calls, actually, from Audi, from Mercedes-Benz, asking if I can speak to their designers about the future of natural materials with cars. This was a few years ago. And of course, I knew nothing about that. I only made this so that I could sell my furniture, actually. But then it became the subject of a lot of things. It became the cover of a very important book called Pulse Petroleum Design. This is published in London and New York with the best examples of environmental design. And this car actually stayed in a university in Germany where they actually studied it, trying to see how they can mix natural materials as transportation for the future. And in fact, it became also they used this for one of Belgium's biggest banks, saying tomorrow is what we make it. I didn't stop there. Now I created something that was closer to home. It's like a tricycle. This is called Eclipse, and it's made out of aluminum. This one actually works. In fact, we sell lots of it. It's actually a luxury tricycle. This is in Paris. It has cup holders. There's GPS. You see there's a roof on top that actually goes down. There's sidings. This is it became really a product. Then I experimented also with building a bicycle out of bamboo. The problem with bamboo bicycles is they look like steel bicycles. No? So I wanted to make it look like a bull, actually, with the horns. And then a few years ago, just before the pandemic, Disney contacted me and says, would you like to work on something which you've never tried before? And this was to do something for Star Wars. And I said, sure, but I don't work without putting my name on it. So they had to ask their headquarters in the US, and they said they came back. This was Disney Asia, and they said, okay, it's a go. We can put your name on every piece that goes out. This is my collaboration with Star Wars. This is actually their first furniture for adults, because before that they've only made kids furniture, children's furniture. They were all made in China and always under the Star Wars name. So I worked on it, and of course, the most basic thing was to do this. An interpretation was this TIE fighter, and this is the finished piece that I did. These are some of the pieces in that collection. It's actually a 6-piece collection, which was sold around the world, and got, I think, a lot of press for us. This is Chewbacca. Remember Harry? I just made it brown, and I put a belt around it. So I took off from all my pieces. This is, again, the design little people that I was able to engineer and made these lightsabers that light up. Yeah, just showing you some of this. Yeah, pieces. So it was actually it was a breakthrough product for both for Disney and for us. And then in forgot when was this, in 2005, I think, during the APEC show, just still President Nonoy Aquino invited all the world leaders to Manila, and so I was asked to design the stage set. So I designed it, patterned it after the rice terraces. So this was, I think they said it's the most beautiful APEC stage ever. And this was that evening. This is President Obama then, and so I designed the whole set. And afterwards, these were the chairs that I made actually for that dinner, that grand dinner. And afterwards, I donated it to UNICEF. And I actually labeled each one who sat where. And these are the winning bids actually for that chair. You see, the Canada then was Trudeau. His chair went for $2,050,000. It's about 40,000 US. Obama's chair went for another 40,000 US. And I donated it all to UNICEF. And so you can see here whose butt is the most valuable in the world. And actually, UNICEF said that was the fastest. I think they raised 8 million that they raised in 8 minutes, 15 minutes, the whole auction. So I collaborated also on the airport in Mactan together with Hong Kong architects and Bujilayog. And this won actually the world's best airport, beating Singapore. It's made out of wood, actually. I'm sure many of you have seen it. And then I also designed a chapel, which also got a nomination. So time and time again, I collaborate with architects using the same aesthetic that I have. I'm designing now the stations for the BRT. This is just one of the 5 concepts that I submitted, and they chose a different concept for the bus rapid system for Cebu, which should actually start construction next year. So as a business, we have representation all around the world. We have a showroom this is in New York. This is in Manila. And we do projects around the world. This is a hotel in Costa Rica. This is in Portugal. This is in Greece. Yeah, this is another hotel in Costa Rica. And then I used to exhibit, at least before the pandemic, in different fairs around the world. This is in Paris, Maison Objet in Paris. This is my home. So just wanted to show you. Yeah, and this is me this was taken during the pandemic. Yeah, so yeah, that ends my presentation. And yeah, I'll take questions. I think it's very it's very hard to because I have so many designs actually. So I just chose a few and so many highlights of my design journey also. But I only have, I think, half an hour with you. So I hope that in that short span of time, I was able to show you what any Filipino, I think, if you take in your inspiration, use your resources and your materials around us, you can really truly create something unique for all the world to enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Very good, Ken.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Wala may nag-chat question, Dod, so we'll take from the floor na lang. Whoever
Okay.
wants to
Sige.
questions.
Sige, okay. Unmute na tanan.
Those who want to make a remark, unmute yourself. Will be the first.
Comments and questions? Pwede?
Okay.
Yes, sige.
Sige.
Rosen,
Okay,
Rosen.
Good evening, Brad. Good evening
Good
lahat.
evening. Good evening.
Good
Brad.
evening.
Especially sa speaker, si Mr. Kenneth. Masyadong sikat, sobra kasikat. Impression ko, I was very happy na yung ginawa ni Kenneth. Naging kilala ang Pilipino sa mundo. Isipin mo na gano'n na ako, mga simple ratan lang. Dahil sa ingenuity niya at sa pag-iisip. Kung ano-anong nagagawa pa. Tapos hindi lang sa furniture, nag-expand pa over all other areas. Ang tanong ko lang kay Sir Kenneth, Brad Kenneth, masyado ka bang masipag? Parang ang very productive yung utak mo, yung diba? Puro work out, nag-enjoy ka rin. Or you enjoy while working.
Yeah, of course.
Very good for Filipinos. Yes.
Thank you, Brad. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like anybody else, no, merong ups and downs. Of course, there's some years talaga na wala. No, I can't. Ako'y mahuna-unahan, I can't think of anything. And then the next year again, all the ideas come. And the pandemic actually was a good break for me because every year lang we were doing so many designs, so many shows, attending. We didn't really have time to stop and think. Parang, does the world need another chair? You know, all these questions. So now it's been really a good time to recalibrate and re-strategize.
Tanong ko sa Brad Kenneth, anong longer term vision mo dyan? Ano pa mangyari? Kasi tingin ko nag-expand ka na from ratan, dati furniture. Tapos nag-expand ka sa kotse, nag-expand ka sa movies. Nag-expand ka pa sa, ano pa ang future niyan? Then your mind I think is very productive eh. Sa iba-ibang area, baka space age na or ano ba? Pati TikTok, baka pasok ako. I don't know. Kasi very creative eh, na-expand mo yung kanyang mga frontiers eh. Frontiers ng application ng mga local material. Simple material na sabi ko nga simple na pag-observe sa mga jungle, sa mga forest, sa mga kahit mga coke battle, makaka-produce ka something different. Tapos na-welcome ng mundo. Something different. Doon ako nagtataka eh. Ano ba ang kuha niyan? Ano ba drive mo niyan?
Hindi ko alam, Brad.
Or talagang natural talent dahil sa nanay mo galing dyan sa ganong industry na pasa sa iyo? I don't know. Please answer, Brad.
Brad, I wish I knew, no? Pero I think sa akin, you know what's very close to me actually is education, no? I founded kasi ang Cebu, there's no design education actually. There's only architecture or painting, fine arts, no? So a few years ago, I opened the industrial design program in UP, sa UP Cebu. And then I also became chairman sa actually LaSalle, the design department in LaSalle, and I changed all the whole curriculum. They're still using it today. And the same with Cebu also. I did a lot for UP Cebu. And up to today, UP Cebu is the only one that has the product design program. Wow. So yun ang dream ko, Brad, actually, is to open a school eventually when I retire to pass this on to the younger generation.
Ganito, Brad Kenneth eh. Tataka ko simple product, simple mga ideas. Pagkatapos sabi mo ngayon, nag-expand ka na sa education, nag-expand ka na. Tapos nag-hit mag-hit sa market ba? Hindi lang sa Philippines, kundi all over the world. So there must be something you're doing nakakaiba sa before na transformational siya kahit sa curriculum. Na bakit, ibig ba sabihin, baka yung mga curriculum nga natin sa education, baka pati sa defense, agriculture, or whatever. Area, baka sa engineering. Ako, engineer ako eh. Baka maging applicable yung ganung mga concepts kasi parang environmental friendly siya. Parang natural curves, pagtapos natural beauty, yung binabanggit mo. Baka yun mag-hit ngayon, baka sawa ng mga tao ngayon sa modernity ba? Ng mga architecture, ng mga sabi mo yung mga standard ng mga designs, gano'n. I don't know, pakisagot ka, how can you answer that?
Actually, I think there's several things. I think now one is yung out of the box thinking. Yun ang very important that I think I mean, in the Philippines, it's not in Hirap, it's not encouraged. At least during our time, I think ngayon it's very different now, di ba? I think when we were growing up, parang it was all science, science, mathematics, of course, engineering. Ngayon, there's in every family ngayon meron ng designer. It's different now today. So I think that thinking out of the box is very, very important. Yeah, that's all I can say. Kasi yung Pinoy naman, I think is really creative. In the heart, diba? We always excel in everything from that has nothing to do with science and math. I think.
Si Bobby Castillo naman, a fellow designer, fellow artist. Ano to sa Brad Ken, si Bobby is a glass artist.
Oh yeah, yes. Bobby,
This
yes.
is, I would like to express gratitude for validating the ridiculous proposition that being a Filipino and working in the Philippines, you can rank totally up there. And I'm sorry, I have to use the aggressive words of walk all over the different guys out of the country. Ikutan sila because we are in the Philippines, we are Filipinos with the diskarte and the sense of it can be done. And the unusual eye for beauty and detail. So I have to express my thanks for that. Though it's just a sad footnote to the seeming lack of open-mindedness of people who train people to design, and so the schools are needed. The radical use of materials that are already here, which have clearly demonstrated in terms of design. So I have to express my gratitude and in behalf of the Filipinos also.
Fellow artist,
Yeah. So it can be done. Yeah.
Togi, may comment ka, Togs? Kasi Alan Kaneha. Okay, unmute lang, Togs.
Berong.
Artisan ka, di ba? Brewmaster good ka. Ikaw may
Brewmaster.
artist. The best
Artista mo
brewmaster
sa
that San Miguel
Kailangan-
had.
Beer artist.
Si Eva ba, she was amazed and surprised. Ingon niya nga, Brad, di ay na ni mo, Pinoy di ay na.
Kita.
I think she knew Kenneth's name and some of his work when we were still in Cebu. So ingon niya, uy, Brad, di ay na ni mo.
Kasi yung Togs, pwede yun?
Si Eva.
Yung asawa.
Wife.
Commander-in-chief ni...
Yang roommate niya, roommate.
Okay, tungod nag-present makakaroon na Togs na kay discount ang sopa, imbis na 350,000, para sa imo 349,000 na lang.
29 cents pa.
Lan, nakay comment Lan?
No,
Away
not really
from
for-
US.
Just an expression. Kenneth, I'm really in awe. Sige gug nga gani halaga gug nga pirmi.
Thank you.
And it's an honor
Thank you,
for
Brad.
me
Thank
to.
you.
It's an honor for me to talk to you personally. I know you have met my wife, si Leonor Neneng Kaneha,
Yes. Yeah.
sometime in the past. I think
Yes.
you were supposed to do some projects sa Bohol.
Correct. That's right.
Hotel,
That's right.
resort
Oh,
nila, yeah.
yeah.
But for me, it's an honor.
Thank you.
I actually sat on the chair that you designed and was housed at the residence of Ambassador Palitoy in Prague.
Yeah.
in
Yes.
2000
Yes.
in
Yes.
2014.
Yes. Of course.
He was proud in telling all the brads that design ni sa atong brad na si Kenneth.
Yes.
So nag-ilugay gid mig lingkod dito sa here. Picture me.
That's
I
right.
have a question, Ken.
Yeah.
Because your products are all handcrafted, di ba? And then, so what's the plan for parang next generation planning? Siyempre, mga younger generation are not as inclined to do handiwork.
Yes, that's a big problem. That's the same problem as agriculture. No? As ang average age of our farmer and weaver is 60. That's really a problem because their children don't want to do this work anymore. So and there's no formal schools for any of these. No? So I think the only way is that they have to earn a good living. No? That we have to value craft. And of course, it can be done because if you see, how Hermes or how the old-fashioned houses in Italy do it, it's very expensive. There is value in craft. So I think that the only really way is to let them see that you can make a good living out of it, and there's life, more after college, not just to become a call center and a worker, but
So
to work with your hands.
You have young weavers also now, Ken.
Yeah, because we have an in-house training program. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I proposed it before to the government actually, TESDA, to start having all these skills.
But the problem is it takes a long time to be a skilled weaver.
Yeah, ana lang. That is true. Yeah.
Any more questions? Iwali.
Junsi.
Si Jun,
June.
Hi, Kenneth.
Ay,
Somebody was asking a question there. Am I sitting on a Cobonpue chair?
Yeah.
And the answer is, yes, I'm sitting on a Luna chair.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it. It's
That's right. That's the chair.
And the reason why I have these Kenneth Cobonpue chairs, and I thank Kenneth because in my travels, one time I was in Sydney and I was going around in bars. I'm a disciple of Alan Canyeja, my idol. So I went around. I play music. I work in bank, but I play music. So I go around bars. And suddenly, it dawned on me when I was sitting down, look at the mark and it says Kenneth Cobonpue in Sydney. And I went to another place, and the coffee shop, also a Kenneth Cobonpue chair. I said, we should be proud of that as Filipinos, not only as a country, but also in our fraternity. So when I went back to Cebu, I went to his shop and I bought Kenneth Cobonpue things because I want to really tayong Filipino. A lot of people look down at us. A lot of cultures look down at us. But, Filipinos are extremely creative. I think the reason for that is because we're in a place where it's strategically located and you have a mix of a lot of cultures and we're so open on a lot of things. You have American and European influences. So it's just everything and if you blend all of those things, mix them, like if you were in Morals and Malice, you mix drinks, you get a good time. Congratulations, Kenneth.
Thank you, Brajun. Thank you.
And I was going to whisper, Kenneth is extremely nice person, very caring. I know a lot of people
Humble.
for him. Ridiculous. He's so nice. He's so generous, gracious. And I thank you. God bless you, Kenneth.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Kenneth, I'm just curious. Do you have a copyright for your products?
Siyempre.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. They're patented. Yes, actually. Oh, and I've gone after the ones who are used to copy before, but you know, it's very frustrating, and cases here take a long time. That's always the problem. Yeah.
Kenneth, can I ask if
Yes.
somebody wants to buy your furniture or your lounging chairs and so on in the US, where do we go? How do we go about it?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
actually have
yes.
an office now. It's a partnership. We have an office in the US. Yeah,
But do
out
we
of
have
New
to
York.
go to New York? Tapos New York yung office, hay man yung office.
Yeah, it's actually NASA, New York. And then we have also there's also a showroom there.
That's
I can give you the
California.
address. Oh, I can give you the address after. It's at the
California,
design center. It's on Lexington, and I think that's on the 57th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sa California, na may office.
Wala may office in California. We have the warehouse there, but we have representation. We have showrooms that represent us there.
Where can we get a list of that?
It's actually on the website, no? NASA website.
Sa website.
Yes.
Unsay website nimo?
It's just my name, kennethcobonpue.com.
Yeah, because I have some younger generation kids who want to buy some of your designs.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure.
Ken,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
61.
Yes.
Kanang
Brad.
nasa imong likod nga lang shade. Ana.
Oh, yeah. Ako po na. That was an old design of mine.
Ako na-amazed ka kay Brad.
Okay.
Brad na to.
I have something to say. Ang furniture niya is not a furniture, it's a work of art.
Yeah.
And when you buy, it's like buying the furniture with the intellectual property and copyrights because it comes with all the awards. That's why. It's a work of art. It's not really a furniture.
Ingnan ako nga, you're amazed that Brad na rin siya.
Pero,
Thank you.
Kamusta,
Thank you,
Ivan?
ma'am. Thank you.
An intellectual property.
Sa New York.
Toge, Kenneth, palitan mo si Eva.
Dapat 10 minutes for
Tao nato yan.
Brad, we have to Brad, Oliver, we have to present the katong logo na to, no?
Yeah. Oh, can
Don't
you
forget,
present the
Right.
logo?
Can you
Can we request
Maybe you should
from
give
Kenneth?
one first.
Ken.
Yeah.
Ang iyang
Pila man
website.
kung kuan. Ken.
Yes,
We
yes.
will present.
Kailan ang katong kuan nimo? Kanang lampshade sa likod. Kay basig moray akong ma-afford.
Okay. Then we can get reactions from
But you
The
just
brand.
cannot afford it.
Yeah,
then.
sige. But maybe Brad, you give first a rationale.
With the
No?
with the award and intellectual property lagi when you buy it.
Meeting buhat siya mga chair sa street.
Okay, Brad, we
2 million.
requested
Oh my goodness.
2 million.
Lagi.
$40,000.
excuse lang.
Hindi, pero mga heads of states man. Siyempre.
Lagi.
Pero gidonate niya sa UNICEF.
Analysis lang itong
Rong, i-mute lang sa uban, Rong. Mute lang sa Toge.
Intellectual property, copyrights.
Pwede na lang mo maglalis, Togs, na iba.
It's not just the price of the furniture
Kanda
itself.
sa awards.
Isod kayo na, kay lawyer ka ba na?
Bunalan na naman niya.
Furniture hits.
Remember itong
Ito na lang, Togs. Sige, palitan tika.
iya hali ito.
Oh.
Hati natin.
Rong, i-mute sa tanan, Rong.
Togs,
Ito lagi na sa Toge.
Hindi ako sa mute ito, Gibi. Ana. Okay, na-mute ko na, Togs. Kaya sige mo maglalis. So ang context ani is well, we all know that ang concern nato karon is Pinoy sa sustainability. We all know na there are only 2 remaining Brads left in UP, unya hapit na makapas ang UP. So we cannot just sit back, and we have to do things so that we can capture the interest of future generations to join a very good organization like Pinoy. So daghang initiatives ang ginahuna-una na ay scholarship, na ay recruitment parties in Cebu and Davao, etc. But one initiative is we thought of updating, not changing, updating the logo, which is at the back of Ludwig, Lord Ludwig Rieras, no? So it's a dark gold and black logo. So we requested Kenneth that we want to capture the same values of represented by that logo, which is a pre-colonial symbol of the pride of Filipinos before we were colonized. That is the Baybayin script of P. So we asked Kenneth to think of a design that will appeal to the future generation. So, and Kenneth is so gracious naman, and he wants to present parang the proposal now to get comments from you, so that kibaw siya unsay more or less reaction ninyo. Again, let's look at this from the point of view of future generations, not what we want personally from our own one, but everything is a marketing we have to think of the Gen Z and what they want. And Kenneth has a very strong sense of that. So with that, Ken, Muraga, since you're the Michelangelo of the Philippines now, the designer that we will be, di ba sa Vatican, proud kayo sila, Swiss Guards nila is the uniforms are designed by Michelangelo. So proud sa ubang adlaw, ang atong logo is designed by Kenneth Cobonpue. Sige Ken, with that background,
Okay.
can you show us?
Ako say share.
I'll
share the
Share,
screen.
Ken, pwede.
Share. Okay, sige. So this is our old logo. No, I didn't want to change it too much. Ayo kayo, because of course this is atong tradition. No, this is since 1955. Pero I wanted to do away lang to soften a bit sa colors na to, because I'm sure this is supposed to be gold. No? Pero you never see it as gold because we can never print it in metallic na kuan, so it just reads as like dead yellow. No?
Yeah.
So this is so first this is the I took that baybayin kuan na to, no, for P, and then I updated lang a bit, no? Made it more curvy, closed it a bit, no. And then I put this, no, so it's bolder, it's simpler, without the koan, without the box, because that was I think it's very old-fashioned. And then I was talking to Oliver and some of the brads, right, what to put there, and they said they wanted to put this UP and to use the colors, the maroon color, no, for UP.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
then I wanted to put some symbol lang, no, some a dot or kuan kay this in Filipino kuan, this means P, no, PI, this putting a dot there, it's also nice. I just don't know what that should symbolize. I'm still at a loss what it can mean sa ato ang kuan, so maybe we can discuss that later on. And then we can also change the color a bit, because we're from the Visayas. I thought of using this aqua color to represent the sea.
I see.
Also to make it softer, and without, you see, to me a logo should be beautiful even without the words, without names. I think that this is very, very kanang simple, no, but actually it's also very distinct, and when you put it on a shirt, it's quite nice, no? Because it will just have that big that logo. So yeah, so it's open for discussion. Go back to that. No? Simple lang ako. Yeah. So this is the logo. This is where I am now. So we can go back to that color, or we take out the dot or kind of. So I didn't want to change so much.
I have a comment. Okay, so
Bobby Castillo.
Okay, so I've done corporate identity manuals also for Jollibee. I did their domestic and international thing. That is fantastic. It will symbolize unity, a circle of friends, circle of fraternity. So it's a fantastic thing. So really, and taking out the box lines frees our logo, part of a feng shui thing, so it can fly off, much more dynamic than what we had before. Though we have the basis of our institutions as a fraternity. But personally, I think it's a fantastic thing. I mean, it's perfectly balanced, and the color selection is totally appropriate for our heritage, which is UP. The circle, I really think, will symbolize our unity as a fraternity. Solid, one color, and if you do use the aqua, and then that represents our having our roots from the Visayas and Mindanao. And that's all. Thanks.
So comment of Jing, Ken, is UP, maybe bolder. Ipati-chat na lang yung comments niyo because for the interest of time. So what do you mean, Jing? Maybe bolder? Jing, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, just to emphasize ang UP.
So, bigger.
No, just bolder ang UP, and then that as explained by Bobby, I do agree. It may represent us or a community, or so. I agree with. I share the ideas of Bobby earlier.
Okay.
Hello,
comment.
Hello.
Comment.
Okay, chat na lang ang mga comments niyo para ma-record na to tanan. Kay Kenneth will have to leave in a few minutes. So
Yeah.
Can I make a comment?
Yes. Who's this? Please identify.
Alan.
Si Alan.
Yeah, yes.
I just went through Google and I found out that the dot represents the seed, the spark, the focus thought, which gives birth to creation in the physical and mental realms. I think that fits us very well. Huh? Physical is the initiation, the mental is us being from UP.
Oh, yeah.
So that is really appropriate for all of us. The focus thought, which gives birth to the creation of the fraternity. So I have to agree for putting the dot there.
Okay.
Comment kung pwede.
Sige. Please identify.
Rosen Sanchez.
Rosen.
Grad 74B.
Rosen.
Sir, Brad Kenneth, pwede ikuan yung last slide. Parang mas pabor kasi ako doon. Kasi kung tingnan mo mga kabataan ngayon, they want simplicity. Tapos nakita ko na itong symbol ng kanya, P, is actually Filipinos na yan. That's a Filipino alphabet eh. So nakalagay dyan UP, pagtapos simple, Brad, Filipinos yung alphabet na yan, 1955. Maganda talaga sa t-shirt. Huwag na natin pahabain ba? Parang maging proud ka sa symbol na kumpleto na siya. As compact as possible, as simple. Tingin ko yan ang tama si Kenneth, yan ang kanya eh.
Lagyan na kaya ng circle yung UP.
Just add the circle.
Nawala ko yung circle. Pwede ba madagdag yun?
Pwede. Yeah. We can put the circle.
Maganda din yung symbol ng circle eh. Parang circle of friends tayo, Brad.
Yeah. Okay.
So all the rest yung nag-represent ng circle. Tama rin yun. Si Sir Kenneth Tabala. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Maroon ng color, Brads. Maroon na.
That's a good color.
Maroon and aqua.
Comment wrong.
Sige.
I think we should retain the dot, but I think it would look nicer if it was in the middle of the P. Murag central ang atong unity ba?
Middle of the
symbol, the P. Somewhere sa atong bahin na symbol mismo.
Sige.
Anyway, Kenneth will sige. I'll take in all your comments and then create another
siguro
I think it's very good, very constructive.
I-type na lang, Brads, ang mga suggestions and comments
even
niyo.
After Kenneth will leave, you can give comments. Anyway, we'll post this in the Google Drive.
Sige.
So at this point, mag-picture taking na ta.
Okay.
Sige.
Okay.
Everybody come on, cameras on. Pwedeng stop share, Ken.
Yeah, sige.
Thank you very much, Ken. Now we're so excited about the new logo.
Oh,
Nice
thank you, Bod. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
After 66 years, mausapang logo.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, so let's see if everybody, Gino, Carlo, Abigail, Robert, everybody camera on, please.
Yeah.
Play.
Okay.
Nakan pa wala.
Sige.
June,
Video.
Gino, Carlo. One more. Bobby Castillo.
Okay.
Ruth. Okay, so everybody for the archives. 1, 2, 3, smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. The second page. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, smile. Oh, Jing the chica. Camera on. Jing, naka? Okay, wala.
Okay.
Camera, okay. All right. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Palakpakan natin si
So,
Kenneth. Thank you very
salamat,
much.
Kenneth.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth.
Thank you so much, Ken. Oo.
Sige. Thank you. Yeah.
Very proud. We're very proud.
Thank you. Salamat sa inyong tanan.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to leave, huh?
Yeah.
Still have
Okay.
dinner. Oh, yeah. Sige.
Okay.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
The token will
Bye.
be sent to you, designed by Bobby Castillo.
Oh, nice. Sige.
Donated by Rene Catan. Sige. Salamat.
Sige, Brad. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ken.
Uy, nasi Marcel Fernando. Sel.
Okay. Oo.
Basta.
Okay. So, Saman, proceed na to sa next speaker.
Yes, Dodge.
Sige ha, ang atong next speaker actually is a pair of speakers, ha? Si Teresa ug si Dana. And their company is called Ninma. Ninma is actually a name inspired by the Sumerian goddess of fertility and harvest. It's a unique partnership between two seemingly different individuals, no? Si Teresa has been studying and researching on natural and holistic healing for over a decade. And this yearning of hers stems from her need to find a cure for an autoimmune disease that she had been suffering from for many years. But thanks to herbalism and her studies about superfoods, herbal supplements, and biohacking, she's currently in remission and at the healthiest she has ever been. Now, on the other hand, si Dana naman, who happens to be my daughter, studied music and multimedia arts her entire life, no? Since her childhood days. She's been interested in herbal remedies and natural remedies. But burnt out from her music career, Dana's first instinct was to return to the plants and find healing through them. So the paths cross of this former financial advisor, who is Teresa, and a former music producer, si Dana, coming from two very different backgrounds, but whose common denominator is that they are both seekers. Seekers who are committed to healing and searching for deeper meaning and purpose for everything in their lives. And so as their friendship grew, so did their business flow organically. And now they are proud that their endeavor has created pockets of peace and healing in a safe haven amidst the chaos of the modern world. So with this introduction, I'd like to give the floor to Teresa and Dana. Welcome.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. So, I am Dana Marquez. I am the daughter of Dodgy Marquez, and this is Teresa.
And I'm Teresa Pandas, who's the business partner and best friend of Dana.
Yes.
We started business, and we're gonna start sharing some slides. Yeah. Hi. Hello. So we're gonna start sharing some slides so we could go through what our business is all about and how it could probably help you as well or open up your mind into natural healing.
By the way, this is our very first public talk. So thank you very much for having us.
It's quite nerve-wracking because it's like after Kenneth Cobonpue. Anyhow. So we will share.
You got this.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Please bear with us.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So the title of today's talk is Herbal Remedies for the Modern World. So,
Wala pa, ano?
wala pa. Ay, wala pa.
Hindi pa makita. Yung mga herbal remedies na pangpabata, ha? Hindi na.
Opo.
Pang senior citizen, ha?
Ako, hindi nila magandang.
Para lalong bumata si Alan. in the natural way.
Okay. Please bear with us. It's our first time. Thank you very much. Okay. Is it there? Can everybody see?
Yes.
Okay. So the title of today's talk is Herbal Remedies for the Modern World. Sana makinig po kayo kasi sigurado po kami na makakatulong po sa inyo yung mga produkto namin. As in. So, what is Ninma? We are a small-scale business focused on offering and sharing herbal remedies sourced locally and around the world. So we provide the herbal remedies for the Filipino market. And I do believe that we may be the only or one of the only businesses providing these kinds of natural options for people at present. So, sorry. As Tito Doji said a while ago, the name originated from a Sumerian goddess of fertility and harvest. She is also believed to be the creator of Garden of Eden, hence our slogan, a return to Mother Earth. Because with everything that's going on right now in our planet, we keep on forgetting that we have to go back to the basics. We have to go back to the most natural way for us to be able to sustain and heal ourselves. And these are some of the products that we have. Just a sneak peek of what we will share later. Yeah, so we have supplements, we have something for the body, and then we have something to help people sleep and relax. So as per introduction a while ago, so I founded Ninma through my studies abroad and online, actually, because to be honest, there's really no center for herbalism. It's something that the Western world are trying to suppress, especially at this point with everything that's going on. But of course, plants are always there. And one of the things that brought me to them is because I had an autoimmune disease, which is already in remission. And I got here because of going back to the natural state of my body, which are supported by plants itself. And it's by supplementation, by learning how to listen to your body. And one of the things that I could actually share with you, is that I also wanted to, aside from the products that I get or we get from the States, we also have products that comes from the Philippines. Marami tayong herbal products, but the problem is hindi sila nakakompile ng maayos. Wala tayong further studies, walang mga peer reviews, or walang mga proper documentation. So maganda sana if I could really look into them as well, and that's one of the mission that we actually have as well. Hello, so here's my side of the story. As you guys have heard earlier, Teresa and I came from two very different backgrounds. My background naman is music and multimedia arts. And Ninma, this company, was actually a turning point in my career because it's very different from what I used to do. But we're in the digital age now, so things like Instagram, Facebook, visuals, media, they're very important. So I'm very happy that the things that I've been doing since I was a kid, thanks Dad for the art lessons, and also for allowing me to explore my artistic
self. Because I've been studying Photoshop, all these things since I was a kid, even film. So now I'm very happy that these skills are put to good use in Ninma as a digital arm. And comms and communications. I handle all the communications.
And I handle all the production.
It's just the two of us.
And yes, I'm the formulator for everything.
Yeah. Yes. So what happened was I was extremely burnt out from my musical career. You know, there's a lot of pressure in the local entertainment industry. So being somebody who's resonated with herbal remedies since childhood, really, my first instinct was to return to them. And thankfully, during that moment of my crisis, I met Teresa and we became fast friends. So how we met?
We met in a pilgrimage.
Yes. We met through the yoga community in Manila. Really interesting. And we were invited to this pilgrimage, which was 10 days of exploring the Ifugao province. That was really nice, and we've been pretty much inseparable since.
And we also found farmers from there and met them, and were even willing to plant for us and to provide the herbs that we will be using in the future. So
yes.
And it's quite timely because everything that's going on. We started the business January 2020, right after we came back from Bacolod, in which Tito Doji brought us to the farmers as well of Bacolod. And because he is a beekeeper, he also introduced us to the beekeepers of Bacolod. And he's the one actually like providing the honey for our business.
And doing all the quality
controls for them. Because our business will not be here without the honey as well. Because it's one of the best healing products that we have. And we're just gonna share with you one of our best seller, and this is the triple rhizome tonic, which is composed of 3 rhizomes, which is ginger, turmeric, galangal, and honey and citrus fruits. So the thing why it became a bestseller is because it's easy to drink. Aside from that, the effects are actually immediate. So for people who's going through a lot of inflammation, for people who's arthritic or having allergic reactions, this actually helps a lot. Even migraine or who needs a bit of energy, this one is the thing that a lot of people are going for, especially with COVID right now. It's so timely because when we started the business, everyone's looking for immune support, and lo and behold, we have a product that's actually for that. Because even without the pandemic, anyways, our body needs support for our immunity. These are some of the places that I traveled to. The woman in the left that I'm with is the oldest herbalist in Barcelona. So she shared some stuff with me, and I hope that I could actually speak Spanish because she's telling me that I should study with her while she's still here. And then different parts of Europe that I went because I had to look for sources of the herbs. And I met some of them, and family owned and all organic. So that's us with Tito Doji.
Yeah, so this was a very memorable trip. As you can see in the photo, we're with my dad, and we did a very spontaneous hike in the deep forests of Negros, where the honey comes from actually, and there are lots of indigenous plants. So when we were there, we met a lot of local farmers and beekeepers who are our partners in the business. And if you could see the bag in this photo, we would like to share that all of our canvas bags were produced by a local NGO for PWDs. So every single package that we deliver, the bags are made by them, and a percentage of our sales goes to them every single time. So yes,
so we're trying to help work with other NGOs as well. These are some of the ways that we produce the products. use of herbalism. We believe that through our work, more people will be open and inspired to reconnect with nature and feel using natural, non-synthetic products to bring balance back into their lives. And our mission is to raise awareness about the importance and value of the forgotten art of herbalism and traditional healing. And we seek to provide potent and high quality natural remedies for modern day living. So the stuff that we provide is really to relieve the stresses and the daily pains of the modern world. Because most of the problems,
that's really our purpose.
the root cause of most of the illnesses that we have is due to stress. And we all know this. When the body is stressed, everything in the body becomes acidic. And once it becomes acidic, everything becomes unbalanced. And then we start having infections and inflammation, and then we start being sick. So, and we all know that majority of the stuff that we have at the moment here in our country, because we have a lot of products claiming to be natural, but they're not really properly done or really studied well. There's just only a few that does it. So we're trying to provide it in a small scale at this point. So maybe in the future we could, when we grow, we could manage to provide for more people. At this point, we're just really small. We're just more than a year old, and we're just very happy and very proud to say that a lot of people are very interested to understanding and to try the products that we have. And we're sometimes very amazed with the reviews that they have, because we don't really ask for reviews from them. They will share them openly, and we have some amazing results. Like, for example, we help a person guide her through her pregnancy because she's been trying to get pregnant for a long time and she couldn't get it, and we just gave her some of the herbs and supplements to aid her. And she's very happy because now she has twins.
And we also have cancer patients who tell us that the tonic and our products are the only thing that helps her with the nausea and fatigue. And we also have patients with chronic illnesses, osteoarthritis, all these things.
And it's not something, we're not trying to say that we're the only thing that you're supposed to take, or herbals are the only thing that you're supposed to take, but Western and alternative medicine can actually work hand in hand, and it will provide the best results for most people. And we're just trying to open up that door because it's a blue ocean for us, and we're just happy and to provide this product. So at this point, we're just gonna share with you some of our products so that you have an idea what they are about. So it's based on 4 categories, which is daily supplementations for sleep and relaxation, for beauty, and for pain relief.
So yes, the daily supplements. Our customers always tell us that our immune boosters and daily supplements are very habit forming for them. So very happy about that. So of course, the first is the triple rhizome tonic. It's something that we like to take every day, that most of our customers take every day. In fact, it's the main product that they purchase because it's really a catch-all. Like, it's good for everything, from inflammation to digestion to pains, allergies, immunity. So if we could recommend one product for you guys, this would be it. This would be it.
It's for all ages that could actually manage to take the spiciness or the strength of ginger.
Because it's very potent.
So you take it like a shot.
Yes.
And majority of the people are like shocked at the beginning, but afterwards they feel relieved.
Yes. And then you look for it. You keep looking for that feeling.
And I help my father with this, with his COPD, because his cough will never go away. And of course, all of the blood work that he has are already going bad. And it helped with his uric acid, it helped with his cholesterol levels as well. So one of the people that can't live without it is my father and my mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was one of her first customers. Because before, Teresa used to make the tonic, like very small batches.
Just for close friends and family.
Like around 10 bottles maybe. And I used to order from her. So I'm proud to say that I was
when she was still in the music industry, because she was very sickly when she was there.
Yeah.
And it helped her
so much. So much. So the second bestseller I would say is the elderberry syrup, which is an antiviral syrup. So it's good for, when you have cough, any infection, flu, colds. It's something that's nice to have in store. Plus, our elderberry soup is special. It's supercharged because it comes with all of these superstar herbs like echinacea, reishi, thyme, oregano, all that.
They're all antivirals and they're good for children from 1 year old, even for pregnant women. So it's one of those things that you could get the moment that you start feeling something funky, when you're like, oh, I feel down. And then you take this with the tonic, it helps a lot of people. So whenever there's like a charge of a lot of COVID cases, there's a lot of people buying this product from us.
Okay, so of course, this is the bioactive honey, which comes from the forest, which we showed earlier. This is one product that we cannot be without because it's actually the only sweetener that we use for our syrups and tonics. So we could say that our products are safe for people who have diabetes because it won't cause a spike in the blood sugar. And also, this honey is thermally untreated, so it's very much alive. The enzymes are still there. So the antibacterial action of this honey is much higher than most commercial variants.
And in comparison to the other honeys, this is very runny, so very liquidy, because it comes from that part of the forest. It's not from a cool climate like Baguio, and it comes from indigenous plants. So you know what they say, that with honey, for it to work for you, it has to come from a place where you're living in. So this adapts very well to us, and you could taste the medicine in it. It's not like that typical honey where it's just sweet. This one, you could taste the power that it has, and it's one of our best sellers.
Yes.
Well. And this one,
this is a liquid herbal extract called Protego. It's very potent. This is usually what people from our customers from the province purchase because it can be shipped there, and it's a very portable supplement. It's very small but very potent. It's actually out of stock, right?
It's coming this mid-July because all of our majority of our products, especially the extracts, it takes time to make. It's a minimum of 6 weeks before it gets cured, and because we're just a new business, it's hard to like figure out yet when would be the next batch like to do that. So we're still figuring out all of these things. So we didn't know that this will be like a bestseller. So all of the stocks just ran out. Which is like a good problem. And a lot of people swear by it as well. So these are the pairings. And then we have superfoods, which are that I've already blended. So instead of you thinking which herbs would be good for specific target in the body, like each organ, like we have the detox powder. A lot of people think that when you say detox, it's already for slimming, but detox is actually for your lymphatic system, your adrenals, your liver, and your kidney. So we all know this. It's something that we need to like manage to pump. You know, we need to like always make sure that our liver is functioning well, because this one actually tastes nice because it has licorice root, so it's a bit like sweet, but there's no sugar in it. But it's loaded with stuff that could actually help your liver function well and your kidney function well. And it could even, like, you could feel it. There's like a slight warm sensation right after you drink it when you mix it with warm water, because it could easily help you sweat. So it opens up your pathways for you to be able to remove all of the pathogens and to flush out the stuff that you have inside. So that's one of our powder blends. And then we have the Nourish, which is super greens of Chlorella spirulina, nettle, which are some of these products we have here, which is Chlorella and spirulina. But the other herbs in there, which actually makes it really potent. So just a half a teaspoon of this every day could actually give you so much protein and energy. So a lot of the people who buy these are actually from different ages and
children, pregnant, lactating
mothers, or even for males who wants energy, because when you take this and then you go under the sun, you're like a plant.
Yes.
We have to understand that our body, us being humans, we're like plants, just complicated plants because we have emotions. But we need the sun. So when you take this and you go under the sun, it actually gives you like the natural energy that you need. And then we have the adapt. This is another one a lot of people enjoy taking because it's our anti-stress. It's one of the anti-stress relief that we have. So when you say stress, it's not just mind stress. There's different forms of stress, which is bodily, emotional, and mental. So for you to be able to adapt to all of these stresses, there are adaptogens. These are the herbs that's combined in it. So you add this to your drink, to your soup, and it could help you adapt to the challenging world that we have at this moment.
Mm-hmm. And the next category, these are our supplements for sleep and stress relief. Actually, sobrang benta po nila kasi marami pong hindi makatulog.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't sleep, especially those living in Manila. So this is the first one. It's called Somnus Tincture. So it's made with passion flower, valerian, hops, California, poppy, lavender, and chamomile. So it's one of our best sellers, and it's really good for people who have insomnia because it gives you much deeper sleep. So I have a funny story about this kasi we were doing R&D for this product, and you're just supposed to take, let me show you guys the bottle. So this is the bottle, and you are supposed to take a few drops or a dropper full. You guys see? I, on the other hand, decided to take around a tablespoon. So I was texting Teresa, and I was starting to feel numb already. So that,
and then I asked her like, how much did you take? And then she was like, a tablespoon. I was like, oh no. It's like, well, have a good sleep. I'll see you the next day.
yes. Because
So
during
she just relaxes the whole day because it's a sedative.
it's a sedative. Yeah.
So it's a natural sedative instead of people taking all of those synthetic sedatives that that could really mess up our system. This one, a lot of people swear by it. It knocks them out.
Yes.
Like it gives them that groggy feeling, and then the moment that you go in bed, it gives you a good sleep.
So this one is called Serenus. Actually, we named these two after Latin words. Somnus is the god of sleep, and Serenus means calm, serene, calm. So this one has mood supporting herbs. So it also helps with sleep, but it has the added bonus of helping people with moods, and you could also use it during the day. Kasi yung Somnus, we don't recommend using it during the day because it's very sedative in nature. This one can be taken during the day whenever you feel a bit nervous or stressed out. Anxiety. It's very good for anxiety relief.
Having migraines,
yes,
because it calms the nerves.
Mhm.
When we say nervines, these are Somnus and Serenus are the ones that focus on the nerves. It calms them down. So it's the combination of these products that manages to support the need of each problem.
And this one is a herbal tea called Dreamweaver. It's also for sleep, and it tastes very good. It's good with the tinctures, but it's also great
As it is. So we make some teas as well with different functions, and then we also create something that you could just spray on your bed, or you could spray in the room, or even on your stuff. So whenever you feel like you're stressed out and you can't light up an incense, or you just want something to calm you down, this could help as well. Because lately, a lot of people are into essential oils, aromatherapy. So this has essential oils and infusions of herbs in it. So it's it's not a female scent. It's good for both. Like, a lot of people are surprised that it can be used like this. Then we have bath scents, which are free from parabens and other forms of synthetic preservatives. Because one of the biggest problems that we have right now is our immune system, our being attacked with the stuff that we put in our skin, because our skin is the biggest organ that we have. So if you put, like, for example, lotion on your skin, and of course, oil and water cannot be combined, and lotion is composed of both. So for that to happen, they put all of the preservatives in there. So the moment that you put that in your skin, all of those preservatives goes inside as well. It goes to your bloodstreams and it goes to your organs, and it's something that I'm a very sensitive person, and my skin, I did all of these products because it's actually my need. I couldn't find anything that actually matches my sensitivities. So my skin would heal and I will have reactions to majority of the stuff that's available in the market. Even the expensive, like I've looked extensively for this stuff. And I'm very happy that with this product, my skin actually is tamer now. Like my skin is not peeling off. Like before, my entire palms and my feet would be peeling off. And it's because of contact dermatitis from the soaps and the lotions that's available in the market. And then I found out that it's the preservatives that's in them and the synthetic scents that they put that's attacking my skin. So right after, when I removed all of that, my skin got better. I felt better because it's not just the topical thing that you see. It goes inside of you and it affects everything else. This is our bath set. Yeah, so we make shampoo and conditioner. It's one of our newest lines, yes. And we're gonna be promoting this soon, which with a bigger size, because a lot of people are very happy with the scent. Well,
they say that it's like a spa in the shower.
They feel like they're having a spa while they're having a shower, and it's a smell of rosemary and basil. So it's not floral in comparison to most of the scents that's available. And then we have the body oils, as I've talked about. Good for massages as well. So probably your wives and your daughter like it, because I know for sure men don't like it. And then we have botanical hair oil. So this is targeting the dry scalp. So even psoriasis and eczema, it could help, and hair fall. Mm-hmm. So it's very concentrated. You could just after a shower or before a shower, you could put it in your scalp. Another bestseller because a lot of people are actually losing hair, and this is stress, and this is stuff that we have. And then
lastly, the last category is for pain relief. So this is another bestseller for our customers. The first one is the Muscle Restore Salve. So it's formulated with 2 really potent herbs. So the first one is called St. John's Wort, and the second is Arnica. So these 2 combined together are very helpful for the muscles and the nerves. So if you are somebody who experiences
that nerve
pains, sprains, strains, muscle soreness, it's very helpful for it. Very helpful for that. And bruises as well, like, you know, those little accidents that you have. And we usually recommend for it to be paired with the magnesium spray, which also helps with the pain. And actually, magnesium spray doesn't just help with pain, it also helps with sleep and stress relief. Because a lot of people, it's a topical way of you getting magnesium in your body. A lot of the people don't know that we are lacking so much minerals in our body, and one of them is magnesium. So they spray this. Sometimes you can feel a bit of tingle because it's something that you're missing in your body. So your body's a bit shocked when it is, and you feel, and it's one of the ways that you could incorporate it in your system. And lastly, this is actually my first ever product, because as I've said a while ago, I had those skin allergies, and this one, I call it the miracle salve because it's the only thing that helped me. And believe me, I bought everything that's in the market, from the most expensive one, from La Mer to any other that's available out there, just for them to help my skin, but nothing works. I went to so many dermatologists. They keep on giving the same products to me, which just aggravates it. And then the moment that I came across calendula flower, it's one of the ingredients here, and immortal flower. And then I created the salve itself.
it's the only thing that managed to help me. And we've had so many people giving us pictures of how it managed to help them as well and their kids, because it's not just for those kinds of problems. If you have a scratch, if you have an insect bite, if you have even for bruise, it could even help. Anything that's in the skin that's irritating, this could help anyone. And, yeah,
That's it. This is where you can reach us. We have Instagram. We are most active there, but we also have Facebook and Fiverr. That's actually me. So you can message us anytime, directly, anytime you'd like any recommendations for any health concerns that you have. We would be very, very happy to help you and to send you recommendations, even a nice routine with the herbal products to help. Yes, thank you very much for having us tonight. We are so honored to have our first public.
Because we don't really like, we don't really like speaking in front of people. We're both introverts.
We're very private people. Very, very.
So thank you so much for taking time to listen, and I hope that it to help open up your mind to herbal products. So
we'll just turn off the share screen. If anybody would like to, does anybody have any questions about the product?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Teresa and Dana.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's nice. So,
Si Bobby. Bobby is also into tinctures. Bob, ano po?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
okay, so I come from Los Baños, and I started taking supplements, which you most probably have, and I ran into a wall of expense. And so I made my own. I made herbal tinctures. I've been taking them for about 3.5 years. Hindi pa naman nalalaglag yung parts ko. Essential. But I do have a concern and an opportunity for you. And I deeply suggest that you please work on making your own base chemicals and the sourcing, because I noticed that while you have big pharma, please keep an open mind. Please keep an open mind.
Of course.
You have to. I had to step away. Okay, a lot of letter C, the papaya guy. They've been doing this for maybe 30, 40 years and selling in the malls and those things. Okay. And the Japanese have been doing this for centuries. Chinese have been doing this for centuries. Now, specifically in Negros, you have healers there. And they use herbs that come from the mountains. Okay, so I suggest you look into that. Second is to go deeper into production, so you control your background. I noticed that the chemicals you use, the ingredients that you use, are come from out of the country also. Okay, so there is also such a thing as this. You have big pharma and you have big supplementation like Osana and herbal. So you may, I'm just suggesting, you may wish to consider doing more base research on extraction using steam or alcohol or whatever things you have. It does take a small space and a lot of attention to details. Okay, so I will send you what I've done. It's called the 12 Apostoles now. It's turmeric, ginger, garlic, aragis, all of those things. And then if you do wish, it's, as Teresa had said, some of those things are hard to take. And if you use them, they will foul up also. So this one has been quite tested, and I suggest you do it in Negros also because you have alcohol there from the factories. You have your honey, so this will work hypothetically. Okay, so I suggest you just go into more basic extraction of the active ingredients. So, ang daming opportunities dyan. Ang daming opportunities dyan.
Bob, you're mentioning chemicals. Walang chemicals yata ang product nila, Bob eh.
I'm sorry, I used the incorrect term.
Oh yes, very incorrect. Very incorrect. Walang chemicals yan. Oh.
Actually,
But if
everything,
they are
everything that we're using are all chemicals. What we don't have is anything synthetic.
Okay.
When you say a specific chemical, it's found in all of us. It's found in plants. It's found everywhere. So we're all chemical.
I'm sorry, I used the incorrect.
But that's okay. I completely understand. I'm trying to share as well that everything that we have, we're all chemicals. That's why
we're made into
right?
that thing.
Yes, but people already have this notion when you say chemicals, it's bad. What's bad is synthetics.
Meron nang mag-order sa'yo, Teresa, Dr. Axel in Cebu. Order daw siya ng triple rhizome.
That's the problem
though.
though.
One bottle, how long daw mag-last?
A bottle could last for
expiry date.
But our biggest problem right now, because we're from Manila, we actually have clients from Davao and Cebu.
They have it airship.
They have it airship from us. That's
How
what
long bago mag-expire ang isang bottle?
3 weeks.
3 weeks
But
lang.
for sure, if you take it daily, you're gonna finish it within 2 weeks.
Ito, question from Joe Bardelosa in Australia. Pwede ba daw i-package nyo in capsules instead of liquid?
Oh no, we can't. Because the liquids that we have are, the extracts that we have are alcohol based. So we cannot have yeah.
Pwede naman siguro bote makarating dyan sa Australia, Joe.
Medyo mahirap.
No, it's more on handling the package. If you're a traveler and you put it in bottles, you know it's easy to have it in capsules rather than in bottles.
Oh. But our bottles, interestingly enough, because they're very small and they're packaged very well, they're easy to travel with. They're airtight, they're sealed. So, but the problem is for us to ship abroad. A lot of the countries that we have clients that want to ship it abroad, but we can't because they're all asking for FDA approval of the products. And that's one of the things that we're still working on.
Okay.
It's quite hard with what we have, like the FDA that we have.
Okay.
Unless you guys know someone. Because they're very strict.
We will need to share privately some experiences of FDA, all of those things. But there is an energy and healing spectrum which proceeds from what you're doing to holistic healing, quartz crystals. I used to work with those things also. I make magic wands, okay?
Actually, all of our products are worked with crystals. So we just yes. So all of the crystals are surrounding the tinctures that we make.
Yes.
So for example, I create like 5 liters of a tincture. All of these crystals are surrounding it. So from quartz to rose quartz, and because Dana is a musician and I also play with instruments, we play sound baths.
Okay.
So the frequency of the place that it's being created is always high vibe.
Ano ka ba? Wala kang music, Bob?
Let's put it this way, okay? Some things may be uncomfortable for some people, okay? So I have copyrighted designs for healing equipment made of crystals and in combinations with metals and all of those things. So I am Crystal Smith.
Mm.
Okay.
So you make organite.
In my past life, okay? So I'm a praying monk now, theoretically. But I used to work with Dr. Rolando Carbonell, if you have heard of him. He used to own Crystal World and all of those things. And then they were into the